What a day for a daydreaming boy. So I called it. Did I not call that game? So Paul Blackburn and the Oakland A's finally beat the Boston Red Sox 4-3, and it wasn't even that close until late in the game. So he gives up just the one run, and what was it, 13 points total he had last night, and obviously he was on my bench, so I kind of called that one. I knew that was going to happen. So yeah, he gives up one earned run. I think he pitched 5 or 6 innings. Excellent game. And they finally won. It was the first game Oakland beat the Red Sox, first time in 6 games. So that kind of figures, right? So it is what it is. And then let's see, the next order of business, I had to pick up Gabriel Moreno. He's the top prospect from Toronto. And I dropped Brendan Crawford. And I'm not so sure I couldn't have done better in terms of fantasy points than Moreno. But as far as excitement level, wanting to follow along, see how he does, that kind of thing, there's not a much better choice. I'm sure there's other excellent choices out there, but there's not much better choice than Moreno. I think he's ranked, actually, I was reading somewhere online, he's like the 4th ranked prospect in all of baseball. Obviously, the number 1 prospect on Toronto. So it's interesting, Toronto's problem, and it's a good problem to have, but they have 3 catchers now, and 2 of them are obviously very, very young, Alejandro Kirk and Gabriel Moreno, and plus I needed the catching depth as well, which is another reason why I got Moreno on the team. And Jansen is also a catcher. Is it Daniel? Maybe, but Jansen is another guy. So they have 3 catchers on the team. So are they going to stick with 3 catchers for the duration? I don't know. I'm not an expert, so you guys tell me if you guys think that they're going to have 3 catchers on the team. I don't know how many catchers you usually have. I would assume 2. But yeah, but I had to get him because I kind of want to follow along with him and see how he does. And, you know, we'll see. I mean, he's had a couple of good games so far, so why not? So the other thing I wanted to mention was Christian Yelich. I knew I recognized the name from somewhere, I just wasn't sure where. And because, you know, I mean, I love sports. I love all the major team sports and tennis and cricket and, you know, I'll watch just about anything. But I knew I recognized his name from somewhere. I just, you know, you look at his stats and they're not the best. I mean, he's got a 242 average now, and it was even worse, you know, a week ago. And you're like, you know, should I waive him? Like, who is this guy? But I recognize the name. So I wanted to go over a few stats. And this guy was the best hitter in baseball 3 years ago. Or 4 years ago, whatever you want to say. He was the National League MVP in 2018 and runner-up in 2019. And his season got cut short because he fouled off a pitch, broke his kneecap, so that ended his season, and he was still second in MVP voting. And I read a really cool article, I think it was in The Athletic, about him trying to regain his form. Because he went from, you know, he batted .326, 36 home runs, 110 RBIs in 2018, where he won the MVP, Hank Aaron Award, Silver Slugger Award. 2019, he bats .329 in 130 games because he didn't finish out the season. But he has 44 home runs and 97 RBIs in 130 games. So he might have had a 50 home run season and might have won the MVP if he didn't get injured. But then he goes 2020, and he's having some, I guess he's having some lower back problems as well, which is a recurring issue. 58 games, but he batted .205. He goes from batting .329 to .205. Then in 117 games last season, he bats .248. In 117 games, he has 9 home runs and 51 RBIs. 9 home runs. This season in 62 games, he has 7. Now this is a guy, again, he had 36 home runs in 2018 and 44 in 2019. And he was arguably the best player in baseball. Obviously, if you win the NL MVP and then you're second the following year, I mean, And I remember his name, and I don't know when I got him. I'd have to look back to see exactly where I drafted him, but I drafted him very late. Um, but again, I mean, he hasn't been playing particularly well. Let me just see where I drafted him. Oh, actually, I got him kind of high because I think because I recognized the game. I got him at 89th overall in the 9th round. Probably could have got him later than that, to be quite honest with you. But I did recognize the name. Anyway, I'm curious if he gets back to form here and starts hitting with a little more power. He's got a 9-game hitting streak right now. But even with that, he's batting .242. And it looks like he did hit a home run. I believe it was last night or the night before. But again, he's got 7 home runs on the year. So we'll see if he can come back to form. I hope he does. But it's just interesting how he fell off like that. Whether it's the kneecap still not right, you know, or obviously he's got some lower back problems that he's dealing with as well. But hopefully he can regain his form. Because like I said, it was amazing how he had those 2 years in Milwaukee where he was just the man. And now all of a sudden, you know, he's kind of below average, honestly. And so, yeah, hopefully he returns to form. It'd be nice to see. But some of the reason I did that research was because I did recognize the name. I wasn't sure exactly who he was. And obviously I like to make transactions every single day, so it seems. So I've been changing my roster constantly. So I was like, well, he's only averaging 2 fantasy points. Should I get rid of him? And maybe I should. But I'd like to follow along with him as well and just kind of see where he goes, see if he can regain his form. And it's been a lot of fun getting back into this. I'm a stats guy. I love the numbers. So I could just, you know, I could stare at numbers all day long. Don't tell me why I love numbers so much. I don't know. But I really could stare at all these numbers all day long. And yet I'm not really an analytics guy. You know, especially in football where the analytics will tell you, well, you should go for the 2-point conversion. No, you shouldn't. And I don't want to get in that whole debate because I'm sure there's other people that'll disagree with me. But, you know, analytics are not the be-all, end-all. And so you think being a numbers guy like me, being a stats guy like me, I'd be far more in analytics than I am. It's a tool. Analytics is great, but it's not the be-all, end-all. Okay? And far too many decisions are made based on what the numbers tell you as opposed to what your eyes tell you, what your gut tells you to do. At least that's my 2 cents. Hey, what do I know? I'm obviously not an expert, so that's just my opinion. Anyways, just a few things to detail there. Let's see, I have a couple starters going today. I have Kyle Wright going, so that'll be exciting. Patrick Sandoval is also going today. And is that today? No, I'm sorry. They're both going tomorrow. I was like, yeah, I thought I had more pitchers than that. So Kyle Wright and Sandoval go tomorrow, Saturday. And today I have MacKenzie Gore. That's right, MacKenzie Gore, so I'm excited to see how he does. Madison Bumgarner as well. Hopefully he can return to form as well. He's had some injury problems. And Adam Wainwright. So I have 3 pitchers going for me. Hopefully Ryan Helsley, he's my only reliever, will get into the action as well. So just super excited to see what happens tonight and throughout. And the next time Paul Blackburn starts, I will be starting him and he won't be on my bench. So yeah, that about wraps it up, I think. And so hopefully, hopefully, thanks for checking out the channel again. Thanks for checking out the video. And thanks for following along with me. It's been a lot of fun. So thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.